welcome back to another vlog for the channel. Today is going to be a little bit different than normal. I wanted to do a debt confession type video and just really kind of get that information in the forefront of my mind with just what our debt looks like. So I'm going to go through and write it down and give a total, and I'm also just going to kind of talk about things like where I've been, why I haven't been posting, and just kind of like a current update on my life. Things have been really hard for us. Hopefully I know how to spell this right. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? I think I mentioned in a video a while back, in fact I think my first stuffing video, I mentioned that my husband was taking a pay cut essentially, and things have been really hard for us, and we haven't been making as much money. I did get a job at a local retail store, and that has been that's just started about 3 weeks ago. It's new to our city, and so it just opened, and so I haven't done a ton of work, but we essentially thought that maybe me getting a job would help bring in extra income. I was expecting to work like maybe a max of 24 hours a week. But as you can probably guess, that is not the case. And it's been really hard. I'm essentially just working to pay for daycare. I'm not bringing in any extra income. I haven't been working 24 hours a week. I've probably been working less than 20 hours, making $12 an hour, which is also not ideal. It's actually lower than I would even ever like. So yeah, that's kind of the struggle that we've been going through. My daughter also has epilepsy, and we are trying to like figure that out. And part of me just kind of wants to pull her from daycare, quit my job, and stay home to take care of her full time, because then I'm more in control. Sorry, it just got dark. The clouds just came out in front of the sun. I tried not to turn on my lights because it just creates a glare. But anyway, I'm not sure what we're gonna do, because it doesn't make sense to work a job where your entire paycheck goes towards daycare. There's no point in that. If you're not bringing home extra money to offset what you're losing with your husband's job or your partner's job, that's maybe the main provider. And so that's just kind of something that we are going to need to talk about. And maybe I will be able to work more. I definitely can pick up shifts if I want. But yeah, that's just kind of the situation we're in. We're not making a lot of money. There's nothing really to cash stuff. That's kind of been put on hold. We're literally just paying bills, buying groceries, buying gas, and that's it. We're not really in a position to do anything else. So that's why I haven't really been creating any cash stuffing envelope videos. I would like to start maybe posting videos of like my budget setup every month. I would also like to do videos of like my spending recap, because I would love to get that under control. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe this channel will just be put on a pause until we can find a way to bring in more money to start paying down our debt, but that's just the reality, and I know that we're not the only ones that go through it. And I'm sure we will get out of it very soon here. I hope. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't put that out like that. Anyway, okay, so debt confession. I'm going to list all of our debts and just give a whole reality of where we are. I do have student loans. I actually just graduated this semester. I have an associate's degree in psychology. I would like to go on to a bachelor's degree, but I just don't think the timing is right in my life right now, so that may be further down the road. This number is probably going to be pretty shocking for many of you to think, holy crap, you spent that much money on just an associate's degree, but that is the situation. We used a lot of grant and loan money to pay for things like daycare, books, gas, school supplies, just other miscellaneous things. And sometimes when a loan paid my tuition, I didn't even have that much left over. I remember one semester specifically, I had like $300 left over, and I used that to buy books. So that is my student loan balance as of today. Okay. My husband also has student loans. He hasn't been in school for probably, I'm going to take my watch off because it just is hard to write with. But he hasn't been in school for a couple of years, mostly because my husband, we haven't lived by a university in a long time. He was working on a bachelor's degree in biology, and we would have to do an online program somewhere and pay out-of-state tuition, and that just costs a lot. And so we decided it was probably best to not put him through school right now. But his balance is a little bit high because of the out-of-state school that he went to. And yeah, I would love to see him finish, but I don't know when that will be. We still don't live by a university, so he'd have to do it all online, and I don't know if that's possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and write total here, because this is the only student loans that we have between the two of us. So we have a total of $75,673.69 in student loan debt. And this number right here is a main reason why we cannot get approved for a mortgage. We've tried a couple of times, but our debt to income ratio is too high, and it's because $75,000 of it is student loan debt. I know that we also have a lot of consumer debt and auto loans and things, which I will write down later, but I do know that this is also a huge part of why we can't get into a home. So I'm hoping that as we pay down some of our consumer debt, we can then start to crank out this and maybe get into a position where we can get into a home. Okay, so next I'm going to kind of write out some of the loans that we have, some of the other loans we have, like personal loan, auto loans, things like that, and then I'll get into credit cards in just a second. But we do have 2 car loans. We have a Volkswagen Jetta, and this one we've had for quite some time. And the dealership that sold it to us actually lied to us about the title, and so now we are extremely upside down in it, and that's why we still have it. We've thought about trading it in, but it's not really worth anything. So, and because we live out of state from family, we've racked up some miles on it for traveling and stuff, and so it does have some high mileage, which I know can also just be like a downer on the value of a car. Our second car loan is a GMC Terrain. We got it last September. The payment is really low, but we just wanted something that was bigger and roomier, and that I could take my daughter to daycare, I could go to school, other things like that. We really could do without this one, and so we may look into selling it this summer, especially because used cars are just so like wanted right now and hard to come by. So we'll see, especially now that I'm out of school and I may just keep my daughter home from daycare. I may think about just coming down to one car. Sorry if you can hear the airplane. So this next personal loan was actually a consolidation loan of debt that we had a few years ago, like a few different credit cards that we couldn't stay on top of because of the interest rate. And so we consolidated all of the debt into a personal loan, and we're just paying down on that. The next payment actually should bring this to under $10,000, which I'm really excited about. So that is what that one is for. So I actually just realized I forgot a student loan. So this is through, my husband's is through like a servicer, but he does have one loan that is actually through his school, that we have been paying on for over a year now. I don't know if it was like a federal loan or like a loan specifically from the university. I don't know why this one loan is separate from the rest of his student loans, but it is, and we've been paying on it for over a year now, or maybe just a year. Actually, I think we've been paying on it, yeah, for almost 2 years now, actually. So this is actually not the total, I apologize. Let me add that up real quick. So the new total is $77,054.14. Sorry, I'm going through my trackers and just realized that I left that one out. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and total these three, because these are kind of like our bigger loans that aren't credit cards, though technically the personal loan is. So these three alone are $25,779.95. So as you can see, just between these two, we're already at $100,000 in debt, and we haven't even gone over current credit cards and medical debt. So that's actually really depressing. Medical expenses, we have mostly bills from when I had my daughter. It was actually just really... Okay, sorry. I had to change the battery because it died. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, so we have 3 hospital bills. Well, 4 actually, but 3 of them are from having my daughter. So this first one is actually from the first doctor I saw. So we changed insurances mid-pregnancy, actually probably closer to the end of my pregnancy, so that I could deliver our baby at the hospital closest to our home. But that doctor still billed like one global fee, even if I only saw him like 4 times. And then the next doctor, the new doctor, also did the same thing. So I technically paid 2 global fees. And then this next one is, okay, you guys, sorry about that. Mid-conversation, apparently my memory card is having some difficulties. So I've had to put in a different one and re-record where we left off. So, I was in the middle of writing all of our medical debt down and just explaining that 2 of these medical debts are from 2 different doctors when I had my baby because we switched insurances. So I had to pay 2 global fees to 2 different doctors. This smaller balance here is for my actual hospital stay. I was working for the hospital at the time and I got a discount on the services because of that. And then these last 2 here, we've since moved away from this hospital, but the hospital now, we have 2 balances here. One was for an MRI I had, and then the other was for a sleep study my husband had, and this is the remaining balance. That will be paid off next month. So we have a total of $3140.92, which brings our grand total to about $105,000 in debt. Next, I started listing our consumer debt, credit card debt, things like that. We have a care credit card left over from when I had a root canal done last year, and that's $653.12. A city card has $517.71, and my husband has a Chase card that's got a balance of around $425. I'm not sure the exact total. And then I also forgot that I had a Venmo credit card. I wasn't approved for a lot on this one when I opened it however long ago, but it does carry the smallest balance, and I'm hoping we can get that paid off soon. Next we have our phones. I still owe $500 on mine, and my husband still owes $218.74 on his. I did forget one bill here in the hospital one, and it's my therapy bill. I did therapy earlier this year, and I had a $20 copay every time, and I ended up having to stop going because I couldn't stay on top of the bill. And yeah, so I forgot that I needed to add in that balance. Okay, so the balance on that is $125, and I am making bigger payments on that, so I should have it paid off in the next month or 2. I'm just trying to think if there are any others. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's it. So the new total for that, $3,265.92. And then all of this debt are like consumer debt, not necessary. I mean, no debt is necessary, but this is just miscellaneous spending, bad habits on our part. So this we owe, between the credit cards and the phone, we owe $2,500. So that's going to put us at about $108,000 in debt total. So there is an overview of our debt. I'm going to go ahead and total everything up real quick. So our grand total debt confession number is $108,000. $108,600.68. That is the total number of debt. Very depressing. Definitely not what I would like to be at. Definitely the reason why we cannot get into a home, because that is technically a mortgage for some people. But without our student debt, we owe $31,546.54 in consumer debt, which is really sad because that's not as high of a number as our student loan debt. I would much rather pay off this amount than this amount, but I know that people have paid off this amount and more before. And it's only a matter of time before we can get started. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, my husband and I are just trying to figure out our finances with him taking a pay cut and me getting a job that's not paying as much. It's not an option to move her to full-time daycare and for me to get a full-time job. We also don't have any family or friends where we live because we live out of state to help babysit our daughter when I have to go to work. And yeah, we just need to work on getting this paid down. I think even throwing something as simple as $20 extra towards, you know, these smaller bills here can really kind of help knock those down, and then we can take those minimum payments and start putting them towards the higher balance stuff up here. But we just need to kind of sit down and go over that. So that is my debt confession. That is the total number of debt that I am in, and you heard it here first, folks. Anyways, thanks for being with me. Thanks for being patient. If you made it to the end, I really, really appreciate it. I love following YouTube accounts and watching everybody's cash stuffing videos, their debt-free videos, their real raw reality videos. I just think it's an amazing community to be able to support one another as we all try to become debt-free. So I am going to start working on my next video. It'll probably either be June budget video or my monthly spending check-in for May. So stay tuned for that. Bye guys.